Hey, good morning, everyone. This will be finally my first live stream in the morning. It's actually like it's 5:12 in the morning right now. It's 5 o'clock. I woke up about 4:50 something normal time before when I was working. This time, I actually got some coffee. So I got some updates. Got all the rest of my tests done. I got I got my MRI and my CT scan and my bone scan. I got the results from that finally done. And I think I said that on my last video. I don't remember, but anyhow, both came up pretty much clear. The CT scan had some things in my lungs, which we're not really worried about at the moment. Um, And then also on top of that, figured out we needed to do another MRI. So I went in for that yesterday evening, um, and now we're waiting on the results from that. And on top of that, which is exciting but a little bit of a nervous kind of knowing thing, um, is I have a date um, for surgery. So I'll be going in on the 13th for surgery for oh, forgot the name. I just said it yesterday. Um, for taking off the my foot basically. Um, so I'll be doing that hopefully on the 13th. I have whatever this thing is that they had sent me through the mail. It's something to get prepared for the surgery. I don't know exactly what it is. So I'll figure that out soon. But yeah, so in about, I think it's about a week, almost 2 weeks, I'll be going in for surgery and hopefully getting rid of this thing. It's gonna be interesting. A little nervous at the same time, but it'll be interesting. Um, so that uh, is gonna be done in Oakland, and so I'm gonna be going all the way over there and getting that done. Not sure how long I'm gonna be staying in the hospital. Hopefully not too long. I'm gonna be taking my laptop and stuff with me and keeping you guys still updated while I'm there. Hopefully, depending on my condition. um, so yeah, so far that's it for updates. Um, I'm not sure what else there is yet. I don't think there really is. Um, but yeah, so got my CT scan cleared, bone scan cleared, waiting on my MRI, and it was mainly just my leg, is to pinpoint where the cancer it is and seeing how far up the leg it is, making sure it's not too far up the leg to make sure they cut it all off. And so that was mainly for that. So I think I'm not going to maybe um, seeing anything from that. It's probably just going to be for reason, that reasoning. And so in that case, it's just getting over and doing the surgery. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think there's much anything else right now. But yeah. So hope you enjoyed the video and like and subscribe if you guys want to continue on this his journey with me. Um, it's gonna be interesting. Probably the next update will be no leg, or not really no leg, but it'll be no foot and no leg between some of the leg gone below the knee. Um, I don't know how much yet. Um, but Mm, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, so I think that's it for today or this morning. So hope everyone has a nice day. Anyone going to work, have a safe trip to work, and have a good time there. Honestly, tell you the truth, I kind of miss work. It's been almost 3 months. Day I stopped going to work, it was driving me crazy in the first place. Now it's been 3 months till then, so it's driving. It's a little pain, and it's funny. Well, not really, but yeah. Um, is I just got a full time position where I work. Like, I haven't been even working there 2 months full time, and this happens. So, yeah, I've been working with where I'm working for almost 2 years, mainly part time. Finally got on to a full time. No, I think I almost have a year in full time. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while, but yeah. So I haven't been working in 3, 4 months now, and kind of miss him. The work I was doing, I was going around, and I was a maintenance for the city I live in. So not one spot in the city, chunk of the city. I I would go over and uh, trim bushes. I would um, trim trees, make sure the watering system's good for the grass, changing sprinklers, um, all that stuff. I honestly kind of miss it because, especially the part when I'm walking around out there, there's a lot of folks that go walking while I'm working there, and sometimes they stop, say hi, and how's it going. So it's kind of nice. It's a lot of fun just having these small conversations throughout the day with people. And there's some people that always come down those roads where I was working. So each day I'd get a hello from them. So that was a lot of fun. And so there's a lot of nice folks around that area, and I honestly kind of miss going over there and getting up. This is about the time I'd be getting up, getting dressed, getting. Well, actually, this is a tiny cup compared to what I usually use. I usually have like how much was it? Like 25 to 26 ounces of coffee, um, and that lasts me from the morning until like 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. And then after that, it'll just be water and stuff. Um, and actually, I'll find that. I think I know where that coffee cup is. I'll show you guys what I mean compared to one of these. It's probably like that much taller and a little bit wider. Um, I think it keeps the coffee warm. My uncle got it for me when I was living with him, or staying at his house for a while. Basically living with him for about, I think it was like a month. Um, and the I was working on a ranch up over there. That was a lot of fun, and moving around cattle and rounding up. It's funny, the saying, the grass is greener on the other side. Yeah, I think the cows thought that where I was working. They when I was over there, they there's one spot, so you have the pasture where they're supposed to be, and then you have the fence line, and then on the other side was alfalfa. So, well, actually, in this case, it was greener. And yeah, alfalfa actually does taste good. I've tasted some myself. Um, and exactly the same spot. I'd go out, I'd fix the fencing and stuff, get it nice and tight and everything, make sure they make it where they can't get through, not supposed to get through. Very next day, shine the light out there, see all these little red dots all through the pasture. Like, I'll go round up the cows again. So I was driving a Dodge Raider, I think what it's called. It had a manual transmission. One thing that was hard about where I was at, they had the pivot lines, I think they're called, where it has the middle area where the water comes from, and there's a water pump on them. I think there was on most of them. I don't know if all of them did, but there's a middle piece that a lot of times had the water pump on it, and go along on these big, like a U, a upside down, almost like a U shape, but not quite a U. Um, and it would go over, and then there'd be a spot with a like a frame with wheels. There would be a wheel in the front, wheel in the back with the electric motor on it. And this would have so many for however many acres you have, how wide you have it. And well, those make some good sized ruts in the field. So you hit the rut and you don't have enough throttle going in your vehicle. Well, actually, not even supposed to be given a throttle going through one of those anyhow. So I never done that. But no, but man, I did the opposite, and I didn't give it any throttle, but I killed the engine. Um, so that was one thing that was fun about up there is doing that, and but yeah, I kind of miss doing that. That was a lot of fun doing that, going over, doing that, and then going around fixing other fence lines, mowing the the pastures down a little bit. Um, what else did I do? I've helped fix pipelines up there. I've gotten rid of weeds and stuff. I've fixed tractors up there. I've cleaned off tractors up there. What else? I did some hay raking. I think I did some baling. That was tricky a little bit. 'Cause yeah, the way we were using the round balers, and it has an alarm on it. So once it gets to where the bale is made, it does an alarm thing. You don't stop. You'll be dragging hay with you. Um, so you had to pay attention to that. I think I messed up once or twice when we were doing that, but I think I did some of that. Mainly one of the other folks did that one, but I did a lot of the hay raking, and I did some of the cutting and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. One thing you got to be careful up there is there's a lot of rocks, so it's easy to light fields on fire. So you have to be careful on that while you're driving some waters where I was at. And um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then actually, with where I was working at here at the city, it when I first started working there part time, I was actually doing I was in, it's called the streets department. So basically, like the other one, I was actually the other, when I was full time, I was in parks department. In the streets department, we mainly like take care of a lot of the roads. Well, I take care of all the roads, I should say. And we go along and like potholes, we fill them in with this, what's it called? Um, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a cold asphalt type stuff, and you have to pack it in. And then we have a truck over there. It's like a GMC. It was like a 3500, I think it was, dump truck, and we would run it over with that, and get it packed in real good. We did that kind of stuff. We've done some concrete for the sidewalks. Um, one time at each, what I know that's happened in the past, but when we were working there, there's two guys I was working with that was doing a concrete job. Got it all done, nice, flat and everything. They took off, and some kids came through and wrote stuff in it. So when they came back and saw that, they had to redo it, and the rest of the day they had to sit there and watch it because these kids went through and did that. Like, but it came out nice once they were done. Um, but we did a lot of that kind of stuff. We did a lot of concrete stuff, a lot of road stuff. We did some crack sealing, which is basically of a trailer that gets really hot with this goo stuff. I don't remember what it's, some kind of crack sealing stuff, almost like Flex Seal. If you look at that stuff, I think I've seen them. If I remember, I've seen it on a commercial. I never used the stuff, but the way, how it has that gooey look, I think they do. I don't know exactly, but anything that has like it's that black tar gooey kind of texture, that's basically what the stuff is. But it hardens when it cools down. It's basically what we're using. So we'd have a wand, and then we'd go down the road real slowly and just slowly do fill in the cracks, and then the truck in the back has to be careful not to run it over, or else it'll get stuck all over the tires. And then we've done a couple of those, and then we've done some repairs where we have a trailer that goes through, and it has a vacuum and stuff, and a water tank, and a cement saw or asphalt saw. I'm not sure what they're called exactly, but you can cut the spot out. So if there's a spot that's really bad, we just cut out a square around it, shovel all that, or well, if we use a backhoe, we'll use that. But then there's these little chunks that always don't want to go in the backhoe, and we go through, we shovel all that stuff or pick them up, throw them in the bucket of the backhoe. They load it into our truck, the dump truck. Well, and then we haul it off to the corp yard, and with that we what's it called? And then we would go over. One of the guys would go over. We have another truck. It's actually what was it? I think it was the asphalt truck. I think it's called. Remember? But the back end actually has its own, basically like a furnace in it built into it, and it gets really hot. um, Guys I worked with, they had to keep their older boots. So when they have their new boots, they use their new boots for normal work. And then when they go into that or do that kind of stuff, they use their older boots because it melts them really easily. And they don't have to worry about it. And then it doesn't have to worry about melting their new boots. But because you have to get up inside of basically the furnace part of it, and you have to shovel and scrape all the asphalt out of it to make sure it's nice and clean, or else the asphalt will harden and get stuck into the up there. So you got to get as much of it out. There's already stuff in there that's solid as rock almost, but we get pretty much most of it out. But it's a lot of fun. It's interesting. Kind of miss, well, honestly, not really. Kind of, I do miss it because I've been just sitting around most, uh, most of the time now. Almost been a month. No, it's been longer than that. It's about 3 months of just sitting around. Beginning of this, I was able to walk around, kind of thing, but I wasn't supposed to. And then now it's getting to the point where it's like, yeah, I can't do it. I can walk, but I can't do it for long periods of time, or in the evening. It just, yeah, feels like someone's putting a clamp on your leg. Um, but but yeah, it's interesting. Um, but yeah, I can't get this surgery done, and sounds like it'll be a couple weeks, but at the same time, I've heard it depends on the person. So but until I get my prosthetic, then I'll be able to actually walk around again, learn how to walk again. Um, that'll be interesting, learning how to walk again, um, and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting. Um, Gonna have to learn how to use my prosthetic for driving because um one thing I always do is especially with the tractors around here, it's manual transmissions. So, you got to be able to push the throttle and you got to be able to push the clutch. Well, the only thing is on the tractors, especially the ones out here that we have, the clutch and stuff are on the same side. The throttle and the clutch are the same. Unless you have ones that just throttle up on the handle, then you have to push the clutch still. Or there's or no, not mind. The clutch is on the opposite side. Okay, that's what it was. It's just like if anyone on here has driven a manual transmission, you're probably far ahead of me on knowing which side the clutch is on. Got mixed up. That's the brake and the throttle on the same side on most of our tractors. The clutch is on the left side, unless you have like I have a 1930s 40s Model B, and plus I have a Model 60 John Deere's, um, and their hand clutch. So that's interesting. It's a lot of fun though, driving those little tractors. I used my Model B for raking hay one time with some old hay rakes, the ones that they run off of the wheels. That was a lot of fun. That was a while back. One time I actually have a '94 Chevy, and well, none of the tractors want to start, so I took my truck out in the field and I just used that. Uh, that was a lot of fun. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to get the job done. So, I got a truck. Let's just rake the hay with that. So I did a whole, I think it was like maybe 4 acres. Coffee gets stuck in my beard or my mustache, and take a drink and get soiled up in my mustache, so then I have to get it out of my mustache. I think I need to trim it down just a little bit. It gets to where not a lot of folks probably know that when your beard gets or your mustache gets long, it feels like there's something in your mouth, but it's just your mustache. And it's like, so I need to trim it back a little bit. Um, but yeah, and then what else? But yeah, so it's interesting. Can't miss all the stuff I used to be able to do. There's a couple tractors I got to work on. I got a Farmall Model H. It ran, but um, had some problems with intake exhaust manifold and stuff like that. And ended up tearing apart. And then come find out one of the bolts for the radiator was rusted, or almost most of it missing, came off of it. But I got a new radiator for it. I got a new intake and exhaust manifold for it. Rebuilt. I think I rebuilt the carburetor on it. Remember what I did. Um, and then I got the I got a Super M. It's got a loader on the front of it. I want to get that running. The main thing that's wrong with that is the main drive belt for the fan. And so the way it works is there's a drive belt that goes from the crankshaft to the fan, and then there's another one that goes from the fan to the alternator or generator. And if it's 6 volt, mine is converted to 12 volt. We're thinking about converting it back to 6 volt later on in the future. But that main drive belt from the crankshaft to the fan is really loose, and we can't get the adjustment to come loose on it. So we're gonna have to tear that one apart and get that broke loose. So then we can I actually have a new belt here at the farm to put on there and then tighten it all down. But we got to get that thing broke loose, but it's being stubborn. So we got to pull the whole front end of this thing off to get it to break loose, and hopefully not to buy a new one. The H I'm going to be buying a new water pump for later on in the future to get that going. The fan's fine on it. It's held up just fine. It was charging, all that stuff. It ran really good. Only problem is this exhaust manifold had a few cracks in it. One of the spots actually wasn't even hooked up to the whole manifold. One of the ends that hooked up to the cylinders. Ran good though. Drove it up and down the road. Same with the M. Only problem is it overheated. So and due to the belt not working. and the fan not spinning fast enough to cool down the water. But hopefully get that fixed here in later future. We got a Oliver. It's just a little 6-cylinder one. It's about the size of like a 9-in, 8-in board. It's a little longer though. Um, and then I have I think it's a 320 John Deere. It's the older 2-cylinder, but it's a vertical engine in it, and you actually have a foot clutch, foot brakes, and stuff like that, but you have a hand throttle. I don't remember if it has a foot throttle or not. I'll check. But I was looking at it. That won't be hard to get running. Honestly, I have all the parts here. Oh well, over where it's at. It's over at my sister's house right now. Um, but I have all the parts for it. Looking at it, has all the spark plug wires. The engine turns over. It has alternator on it, or actually, I think that one has generator. I think it's still 6 volt. It has all the parts on there to run. The points need to be cleaned. They're a little dirty. But I think I can pretty much throw a 6 volt battery in that thing, clean up the points and stuff, get spark to it, and put some gas in it. I think that thing will run. Carburetor might need a little rebuild, but nothing I can't do. Honestly, rebuilding carburetors it's not that hard. I've done it on a '67 Ford Galaxy, which is actually in the shop, and the engine torn out of it because the engines wore out. There's actually a little slice right at the top of the cylinder where the piston doesn't come all the way up to, or the piston rings don't come all the way up to. Is that all the way around just about all the cylinders, if I remember right? So I need to get that honed out. We're going to get an oversized ring kit, probably oversized piston. Well, honestly, and all, just a whole rebuild kit. I've done it in the past with the '94 Chevy that I have. I had to rebuild the engine and that. It's given me a little trouble, but it's nothing to do with that. It's something to do with the wiring because the O2 and the temperature sensor keeps on going off. For no reason at all. They're brand new. I just replaced them, and they keep on doing it. And when it does, it floods itself out, which that might be why it's overfilled on oil. Might be gas in oil. So I mean, I'm gonna probably have to change that out. I haven't drove it in a while. I drove it a couple days ago. I just drove it around the block because I haven't driven in like a month. Just keep the lubricant moving, and then get the transmission fluid moving and stuff like that. And but yeah, I have a 1930s Malay. I'm thinking on what to do with that one. The problem I have with it is it's overheating due to rust in the water jacket, and when it gets warmed up, the rust breaks loose and it clogs up the radiator. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking a water tank, putting it in front of the engine, so take the place of the radiator. Basically, it won't cool down the water. I know that for sure. But what I can do is I'll set it there, I'll run the engine, let it get up to um, operating temperature with like some type of rust removal stuff. I don't know exactly yet. There's a couple things I've heard of. I just joined it's called Malay. What is it? Something about Malay Group of America or something like that. I don't remember the name of it exactly. I have to figure it out. On Facebook, and I have there's a bunch of guys that commented on it on a post I put on there, and and they put out quite a bit of information. So I'll be looking into all of that stuff. And hopefully getting that thing going. It runs. Had one problem where it didn't have spark. Come find out. If you look on those old Malays, there's a pipe, like a flexible pipe, that goes from the distributor up basically through the gas tank or the dashboard. The dashboard is the gas tank, and goes up in there and goes up to your key. Well, that was grounding out. inside of it. The wire inside was grounding out against the metal on the outside. So what I had to do is get a new one, which now I got to get a key for it, and I gotta put a new key on it and stuff. But got a new one on there and fires right up. Um, but I'm just having the overheating problem. That's about it. So hopefully get that fixed and stuff. Kind of funny. Started out what's going on with cancer, and now I'm talking about tractors and trucks I'm working on. But anyhow, yeah, it's I can't like get back to work on those kind of stuff. And, only problem is I need to get back working so I can work on that kind of stuff because everything costs money. A rare pump, or the pump that I need to get is like 200 and some. Well, actually, not just the pump. The pump is like 100 and some, but I need to get the water pump. I need to get all the hoses, and there's something else. I don't remember. It comes out to like $200. So it's like it's hard on that kind of thing when you're not working. It's uh, I don't know. So but yeah, I kind of get those all running. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm planning on doing these kind of things, but as working on those, but that'll be later on in the future. But yeah, I think that's it for this morning. I don't know. Still dark outside. Still 5:44. So almost an hour long video. But that works. Let's do a little more copy. But yeah, so I think that concludes it for today. So you guys enjoy this video. Hope to see more of what I'm putting out there, and follow me in this whole cancer thing. Go and like and subscribe, and hope to see you all in the next video. And everyone have a safe trip to work, and have a good morning.